Welcome to another edition of the Truth Zone. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker here. In today's show, I wanted to discuss this Brooklyn Bridge incident some more and how bizarre all of this is. Everything surrounding what happened with this Mexican Navy ship at the Brooklyn Bridge is just very bizarre because it was docked at Pier 17. Yes, Pier 17. And I'm going to show you exactly why this is very suspicious, because if you pay attention, Pier 17 is right by FDR Drive. And that is very interesting stuff in and of itself. Everything surrounding this incident with the ship hitting the Brooklyn Bridge seems to me to be a ritual. Now, what this could be hinting at, I really don't know exactly, but there is something that is going to come from this, because FDR Drive is named after James Comey's new book. You know, the same James Comey that put out that cryptic message, that cryptic image that said 8647. And as most, if not all of you know what that means, 8647. Taken out, removing 47. So it's very interesting that the name of his new book is called FDR Drive, and it's a crime novel. So all of this seems very interesting. All of this seems bizarre because, of course, Trump is associated with New York. And as I covered in a previous show, the symbolism of the ship was named after the last Aztec emperor, which represents a descending eagle or a fallen eagle, pretty much, right? So that's very interesting in and of itself because, of course, eagle represents America. And the fact that the ship allegedly lost power, so you have a ship that lost power that represents a falling eagle hitting the Brooklyn Bridge. And I did a little bit of research what this book that James Comey is releasing is about. It's very interesting. As you see here on screen, it is a legal thriller by former FBI Director James Comey. And look at this. A threat is building in the city with far-right extremism powered by internet demagogues and funded by shadowy organizations. Together with legendary investigator Benny Dugan and aided by colleagues at the FBI, Nora builds a case against one of the key players in this. And then, as you can see on screen, it says, at once a fast-paced legal thriller with a close look at the very real perils of political extremism. So it's about political extremism, pretty much, right? So it seems to me as if this could be a hint at something, right? Because it seems as if they are setting the stage for a major chaotic event here in the near future. And what else is interesting about this Pier 17, this will really blow your mind because it blew my mind. Okay, so this ship was docked at Pier 17, right? And then left on May the 17th. Pier 17, May 17th. So there's two of those 17 connections. But that's not all, because the Francis Scott Key Bridge that was struck, oh yeah, look at that. Pier 17 was involved in this. Pier 17 is the specific support structure on the Francis Scott Key Bridge that was struck. Now, I know I'm not the brightest person out there, but that seems like more than just a coincidence to me, right? Everything surrounding this seems very bizarre. And again, this seems like a ritual. This really does seem like a ritual that was done. And especially when you look into the bridge clearance and the height of the ship's mast. You will find things to be very interesting. And shout out to a subscriber on my channel for pointing this out. Bob Frederick. He said the Mexican Navy ship's mast are allegedly 160 feet high. The clearance of the Brooklyn Bridge is 127 feet, which is a 33-foot difference. So there's more of that 33, and he believes it's a ritual, a Freemason ritual, just like I do, because there is so many connections with 33 that it's not funny. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here in a minute, but this just seems very bizarre. The fact that James Comey put out that mysterious post, 8,647 days from 9/11, that said 8647, the fact that 86 and 47 adds up to 133, the fact that Mexico and New York both add up to 33, and there was a 33-foot difference with the height. I mean, come on. That is more than just a coincidence. These people do these things by codes. These people do these things by certain numbers, by certain dates, by certain times for a reason, because you got to give these people credit where it's due. They are smart. They are. They do things by a code. At the same time, these people are still losers, but they are not as dumb as they would have you believe. All of this is bizarre. Every single bit of this just doesn't add up to me. It seems to me as if this is a coded message. Maybe this is a look into the future that America, the eagle, is going to be falling. I guess time will tell, because this just doesn't add up to me. The fact that this kind of mirrors what happened at the Francis Scott Key Bridge, at least the Brooklyn Bridge didn't collapse. Now that would have been catastrophic. And the fact that James Comey put out that message, and then his new book is named FDR Drive, and then this happens. I mean, come on. I mean, when you put the pieces of the puzzle together, things don't make much sense. There is something to all of this. There is. When you begin to peel back all of the layers to this, something seems off. Something doesn't seem right at all. At least it doesn't to me. But then again, maybe all of this is just one big coincidence, and there is nothing to see here. Maybe, just maybe. Or maybe, just maybe, this is more than just a coincidence. Maybe, just maybe, because here's more 33 stuff. It happened on the 137th day of the year, and 137 is the 33rd prime number. So there's more of that 33 connection. Again, these people do things by codes, by scripts, by coded messages. So again, this is all truth in plain sight. From my vantage point, from all of the different puzzle pieces that I'm putting together, this really seems like a ritual. This really seems like a coded message. Everything about this. Oh, and speaking of Eagles, of course, the Eagles won the Superb Elbow recently too. So there's more Eagles stuff, right? And they faced the Chiefs, which represent an arrow. So there's more of that Eagles stuff. Now, am I saying that's connected? No, I'm not. I'm just saying there's more Eagles stuff. So again, who really knows? But to me, this seems like a scripted ritual. This seems like part of whatever they are planning, whatever they are trying to do, whatever they are trying to accomplish. This seems like they have something more in store. with all of the 33 stuff because 33 is one of their favorite numbers. So there is definitely something more to all of this. There really is. Again, when you begin to look at everything, when you begin to do your research, when you begin to put the pieces together, this seems like a scripted event. This seems like a ritual. Just like all of these other rituals these people do, because these people are constantly doing these rituals. And shout out to Joseph Aquavia on YouTube. You can go check out his channel. He puts out great work too. He pointed this out, that Mexican Navy ship and Order Out of Chaos both sync up exactly with all of their numbers. And they are about their Order Out of Chaos. And again, all of this tension recently with Mexico, the United States, and the list goes on and on and on. They are telling you without telling you what they are trying to do. All of this is by design. Every single bit of this is by design. I have no doubt in my mind that this is a ritual. After all of the research, after all of the numbers that line up with one another, this is definitely a ritual. And I'm sure there's going to be more rituals to come here in the near future. I can only imagine what else they have planned, but they have a lot of interesting rituals planned, it looks like. Because this whole entire year has been full of rituals. It really has. When you actually look at all of the things going on, there has been a lot of rituals, a lot of coded messages. So what are these people trying to tell you without telling you? What exactly are these people trying to tell you? Because again, when you do your research with everything going on with this, again, this was definitely on purpose, because when you do some more research, a ship with a mass can still be guided even if it loses power. And it did look like it still had a backup power because the lights, right? So if a ship with a mast, and it had multiple of these, can still be guided even if it loses power, okay. And it looks like they had backup power because, again, the lights being on. So you tell me exactly what is going on here. Because again, when you put the pieces together, something seems off about all of this. As always, I want to hear from each and every one of you. What are your thoughts on all of this? Please comment down below, like the video, and share this content wherever you could think of sharing it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and turn on the bell icon and select all notifications if you would be so kindly to do so you will never miss another upload that I do on the channel. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker, signing out.